we have an idea now, so at least it's a starting point. All right. Writing, acting. So what's the route to all of these areas?
First of all, identify, okay, what is this talent that I have? Let me develop myself at home. Go through Google, you know, from watching how it's done to a very large extent, you begin to get a broader idea and a correlation between what you've read and researched and what actually happens. From then on, if you're good, you can actually pick up a career. Like Soji went from earning nothing to earning a six-figure salary.
The guy who's been in business for 20 years, his challenges are different. But guess what? You can always remember where you're coming from. You can remember the results you've been able to achieve. And you have a sense of where you're going to, because there's something that you're building. We're going to be talking about photography. Now, you know the photographer down the road when you were growing up. There's the photographer's shop and there's the photographer. Most Nigerians will probably call them photonakam or something like that. The guy comes with his camera and is running up and down at your family events. But a lot has changed from the kind of photographers that we used to know. There are photographers in Nigeria right now who hours of work represent 6 to 7 digits in terms of their income. And I'm going to be speaking to one such guest who's made his mark in the creative area, but working through photography. I'd like you to welcome with me a gentleman called Seyi Lawson. Seyi is one of Nigeria's finest professional photographers, film director, and a music producer with almost 2 decades of experience.
Yes.
Majoring in fashion, wedding, and food photography. How many of you know that they even take photographs of food? With over 200 celebrity weddings to his name.
Yes.
Wow. Was your wedding one of those weddings?
Well, surprisingly, I still took some pictures at my wedding.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Your wife should. Anyway, let's save the comments. Now, let me explain what I'd really love you to do.
Yes.
We're looking for new opportunities for the millions of young Nigerians who have so much to give but don't have enough avenues to express it. They're probably graduates now with one degree or the other. But we're looking for other areas that they can move to from where they are, despite whatever degree they have. But identifying the talents that they have, how it fits into photography, understanding the value chain in photography, understanding the kind of remunerations that photography can offer, and then knowing how to get into it and how to start.
It's very interesting the way photography has actually come about,
Okay.
especially in Nigeria now. Because when I started, close to 16 years ago, I started very early. Why? Because I knew what I wanted to do. And when I started photography, it wasn't so much of a reputable profession. I know that one for sure. And I decided that I'm going to go into this particular profession and I'm going to change it because it was a mindset I had in the sense that this is a profession that people already look down upon. Then I said, I'm going to change an industry in such a way that every single student, or if they ask the students, what would you like to be when you grow up? They can say, I want to be a photographer, I want to be a cinematographer, I want to be a director, I want to be a music producer. When I started, I decided to change and add elements into photography that were not common.
Okay.
So as I went, I understood branding early. Because photography enables you to stand in front of the crowd. And however you're going to advertise yourself, you will be the best person to advertise yourself because you're right in front. I started wearing branded jackets, branded items. And as a result of that, I added fashion and style to wedding coverages and events. So enable me to mix all together.
Okay.
That way, found that people started looking at
Photography
differently. So it's not just a picture, it becomes a work of art.
Okay.
And once it's a work of art, value placing will be as a result of the person that is appreciating it. So it was now easy for me to tell people that, okay, this is a work of art. This is what I want to do. This is what I would desire for you to pay me for. And based on professionalism, loyalty, hard work, I built on that particular brand, and it was easy for me to sail through from one job to the next.
Okay.
And that's the way the name started going, and I kept at it. I kept developing and developing.
Now, how do you take economic value from that? Because bottom line for me is I want them to see the attractiveness of the different industries, and at the end of the day be able to determine what kind of remuneration they can take from here. So the channels for taking value from it will be an area I would love to share.
Yes. Now, if I pick art,
yes.
After doing your particular project,
yes.
and you have series of images,
yes.
you can actually run your images to different people, and they'll obviously be your favorites. Okay. And by the time you run it through, you can actually do canvas,
okay,
or normal prints. You go to an art gallery, and you probably you collaborate with an art gallery, or probably if you have the funding, you can actually pay for space for a week and do an exhibition. And you start with relations, business associates, and the rest of them. Then as a result of that, you begin to sell your artworks. As a starter, first of all, you may not necessarily say you want to up your price to that point. You can actually start with a 50,000 naira work.
50,000 naira is upping your art. I'm being real with you guys. If you take photographs as a starter, and there are many picturistic locations across Nigeria.
Yes.
How much is a camera? Even if you buy the disposable cameras at the beginning, you're the one that takes the photograph of the Third Mainland Bridge against the water when the sun is setting. You're the one that takes photographs of different things that you like. The skyline of the new Lagos Bridge. Just look at this picture. And you cut 4 pieces of wood together. You join them. You print it on fabric, and you staple it at the back. It becomes the little art paintings that people buy for their rooms. If you go to ShopRite or Games, you see those things there, and they're like, what, 5,000, 7,000? The Chinese have pictures that you don't even know where the pictures are from, and people buy them and put in their homes. It means that you can take loads of pictures.
What do you need to take your business to the next level? Expert advice? Affordable financing? State-of-the-art technology? A partner you can trust. At First Bank, we can help with that. Visit sme.firstbanknigeria.com to find out how we can help you grow your business. First Bank.
Art photography, you've got weddings, you've got events coverage, you've got food photography.
Okay. Tell me about that. So all these tasty fried chickens, to put those adverts, they invite you to come and take pictures of the meal. Okay.
There's actually a skill, and you have to learn and understand how that works.
Okay.
And that is one avenue in photography that you can also make some money at. Okay. Whereby you've got tasty fried chicken, you've got all the eateries, you've got people that want to do nutritionists, and a lot of that illustrations. You can just pick tomatoes, onions. You can even just
for books, for publishing books, they need.
And the truth about it is that you can just pick up a topic, vegetables, and just photograph vegetables as a project. pick up fruits, pick up anything, any type of food. And it's a project. So it becomes a project whereby you make up your collections and you go to advertising agencies and say, look, I've got collections of fruits in a particular manner. So, and they look at it and say, oh, we would like to use this at this point in time, we'd like to use that, we'd like to do this. So it builds your portfolio. So anytime they require images from you, they can know that, yes, this is exactly what they want to do, apart from all the commission works that people actually get in touch with you by all the advertising agencies and end users and the rest of them that they actually, so food photography is another one.
Okay.
Sports. Okay. Sports another one. Basketball, golf, tennis, football, and the like. You can actually be photographing and just be a sports photographer.
Okay.
Areas like fashion and style, which a lot of people recognize here because the fashion industry is really alive here. That's a lot, that's somewhere where you can make a lot of money because we've got fashion designers, we've got magazine owners, you've got a whole lot of people. Somebody is coming out with a brand, somebody is coming out with something. You have, you know, based on fashion, fashion actually goes into a lot of things whereby industries, branded items, and the rest of that. Everyone needs a face, and everyone needs their brand to be pushed out. And there has to always be a human element to it. So as a result of that, you can really never go wrong with photography.
Let's talk the economics. And I hope you're going to be as honest with us as possible.
Yes, I will.
Averagely, in a month,
yes,
what kind of income are we talking about?
Averagely in a month, you can get an income close to 700,000 to 1 million. If you do projects, major projects, you can get as much as 1.5 million, 2 million. It depends on your clientele. Okay. But on average, you can get as much as 1 million within that.
In a month?
Yes, in a month.
Okay. Guys, how many people want to be photographers?
Are you a creative person? Are you looking for the right partner to help you transform your talent into your business? We can help with that. First Bank SME Connect. Visit sme.firstbanknigeria.com to find out more. First Bank.
Are you a Nigerian? Do you have a business idea but lack the initial capital? AGDC, in partnership with Lagos State Government, the Chair Center Group, founded by Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, presents through an online contest, Ignite Ideas Contest, to give seed capital of 100,000 Naira each to 1,100 people and 1-year business mentorship. There is more. You also get access to credit facility from one of the biggest banks in the country. All you have to do is log on to www.igniteideas.org to register and fill the application form. You should also follow them on their social media pages. Facebook, www.facebook.com/igniteideascontest. Twitter, @ignitecontest. Hurry and give your business ideas some life.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, in deploying the things you learn from Ignite or in running your business going forward, what are the key challenges that you have encountered, that something you'd like to ask me that, okay, do you have an opinion about this? This is an area, a crossroad that I got to in doing some of the things that we learned or we picked up or that we tried to experiment with in our business.
I'm having this challenge of actually sealing the partnership with some very key stakeholders. So they ask me, what are you bringing to the table? What's your value proposition? So I'm telling them I'm reaching so number of entrepreneurs in Nigeria. My challenge is actually getting them to do business with me.
But
Yes.
you know, doing business with anybody is a two-way stream.
Yeah.
Okay? You want to do business with them, they must also want to do business with you. Now, the question is for you to first identify the kind of company or persons that you should want to do business with. And the way you identify them is not about do they represent a value for you,
Yes.
but you must also identify, do I represent a value for them?
Okay.
Because that is important in the sense that that allows you to determine what level of interest they can have in your proposition.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So you have the responsibility to make that assessment. Because sometimes the value you hold for the company, you don't even know it.
Okay.
So the way you evaluate it might be different from the way they evaluate it because it's a specific missing gap for them.
For them.
And you represent that. And it might also mean that at that point in time, that thing is of the most importance to them. They need to do it. So that makes you attractive. But you should make your own evaluation
Okay.
before you decide. So it's not just about approaching someone. It's about understanding that you want a symbiotic relationship.
Yes.
Every time you come to the table, you must measure what you're bringing to the table and what they are bringing to the table.
Okay.
And that helps you to sort of, if you have a list of 10, 4 look like most likely. Some look like possible, some maybe not possible at all.
Okay.
So you've made that evaluation, but you still approach all of them. Because sometimes, because of that indeterminable sense of value that only they know,
No.
is why you will approach the wider group
Okay.
that you will. So you need to consider that in terms of evaluating those that you think can offer you value. And also, you know, your reality is that you're a small business. So when you're looking for these alliances, don't start with the big guys who won't even let you through the door. And this keeps coming up with all of you because always take what is called your low-hanging fruits first. Yeah, before going for that. You know why? Because as you take all the small low-hanging fruits, you are gathering value. I mean, there's the guy who has 50 fruits. Do you want to go after him so you can get the 50 in one go? But it's easier if we gather the one fruit. By the time you get to the guy, you are 25 fruits and one. You're not at such a disadvantage. Because even when you're so small and you go to the big guy, the real challenge is you have no negotiation power. So, and what will happen is you will sell yourself cheap at that point in time because you feel they're doing you a favor. Meanwhile, you might actually have a lot of value, but even you will not recognize it because you're looking at the size of these people and yourself. Because sometimes it's as you're gathering the small fruits that are easy for you that someone will point you in the direction of the big one. You will help or you will serve or provide a service to a small guy who has a big guy behind him or a big guy contact. And it is your performance and your ability to deliver excellently to the small guy that makes you attractive to him to then introduce you to the big opportunity. So don't go to where you're first at a disadvantage. Try and build some muscle. And it's also part of why starting small is a reasonable way to go. Because you learn, you make some mistakes, you pick up from those mistakes, you do things better. So by the time you get to that place, you don't mess up and they write you off completely. You come there fairly prepared. There will be new things you learn from there, but you come there fairly prepared. And that then gives you the courage to step out. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Absolutely.
follow the partnerships, but be reasonable in terms of the route or your strategy.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you want to grow your business by selling to people in different ways? We can help with that. First Bank SME Connect. Visit sme.firstbanknigeria.com to find out more. First Bank.
Any question or crossroad we want to up?
Well, on my own part, I love to go into the creative aspect of the gift items and all that.
Yes.
And I realized that in Nigeria, we don't have so much of the industries that go into the productions. Exactly. Yes. And we have to get maybe some industry outside, most especially maybe China or any other country outside. But the challenge now is the way Nigeria has been branded. At times where you go about chatting and trying to make a kind of link, with some of those companies, and the moment they hear, okay, fine, you are from this very particular country, they just, kick off. They were like, okay, fine, we can't do business with you. And I think it's just because of the kind of reputation they have that, okay, fine, this is what Nigeria, so to say, is all about, corruption and all that. So how can one really establish a kind of relationship with such companies? Because I know that Share Center, I think one of the sections I have with you on another platform, you're able to go out there. Now, is it because you've been able to build the industry to a very strong level, so that's why you have such kind of an international acceptance? Or, I don't know, how do small companies trying to start
let me put it this way.
Okay.
When you go to Balogun Market or to Idumota,
okay,
or you go to Alaba, a lot of the Igbo boys that you see who are ordinary guys, most of what they sell is coming from outside.
Yes.
And they do business with different countries. So yes, we have the challenge, the brand challenge, which is why I keep saying to all of us, we have a responsibility to build our country and to build our country brand, because it does have Naira and Kobo implications. That's the honest truth. It affects business, and most people don't think about it when we do the things that ultimately affect our businesses. But having said that, that is there, but you can overcome it. You need to do your homework. I mean, Nigeria cannot be ignored, no matter how. Despite the reputation, you can't ignore 170 million people. There are few countries in the world that have that population. And when you follow all global projections now, we're positioned to increase and become anything between the 3rd to the 5th largest country in the world over the next decades. And with the kind of economic growth that we're having, even with our problems, it shows you why we can't be ignored. So there's first you understanding that despite our problems, never give up your national pride. Never let anybody make you ashamed of Nigeria, even though we have some shameful things that are done in our name. But the country itself has not committed a crime. Some individuals or some people have done things that have put us to shame, but never be ashamed of Nigeria. Now, why is that important? It gives you the confidence and the courage to speak and to challenge situations. So if one person would not deal with you because you are a Nigerian, it's his loss. It's not yours. Because the honest truth is you have value that you want to create, and the person that will not deal with you is going to lose that value. You take your value to another place. So you have a goal. Keep speaking to the different companies in whichever countries until you find what you want. And the guy who won't speak to you on day one is the one who has lost out, not you. So don't let anybody make you have a sense of shame that you lose the courage to pursue your dream.
Send in your comments, questions, and shoutouts to our Facebook page, facebook.com/IgniteTV, Twitter/IgniteTVNG, and check out our website, www.ignite-tv.com. For extras on Ignite, visit our YouTube account on www.youtube.com/IgniteTV Nigeria. For lots more about the show, and lots of useful information on building your business.